Good evening. I am Helix Faust. I will be your raconteur of despair. This is The Grind. We are joined tonight with a new player who will be entering at a dramatically appropriate moment. Two other players could not make it tonight. They were needed elsewhere. But tonight, we will pick up exactly where we left off. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this situation plays out. Because tonight, they are not aware, but death and life is literally in their hands as time is running out. All right. So, last we left off, the group of people in various walks of life gathered in the Logos Minerva library of the city of New Athens. They were looking into these strange ritualistic murders that mutilated bodies and then seemingly was blacked out of the media and had somewhat of a cover up. The individuals witnessed a paranormal event and one of them decided to ask a question. What are you trying to show me? And that is when something responded. After somewhat emotional, intense lapse of time, they found themselves missing one of the individuals. And the other one, Grim, had briefly woken up, but was far more intoxicated than he had realized and decided to lay back down and take a nap, which leaves only two people in the library wondering what had taken place. Gentlemen, scene is yours.
So, where's Jonathan.
I mean, he was here when stepped out and came. I don't wait. I don't know where he went. Should
Oh, God.
do you? There's
What
no
the
way he could have
fuck
run
is
off.
happening?
There's no way he could have run off in the amount of time. Like he can't.
He has to be here in the library then, right?
Yeah, he's got to be somewhere around this area. There's no way he could have gotten far in such a short amount of time, unless he found a new way to just vanish. So you know this place really well. Where
Yeah, I'm
can
just
I
gonna
check?
I'm gonna go to the fuse box, which is in the main hall there, in that little kitchenette area.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on literally every light in the fucking building.
There is general low lighting at night, but yes, you can definitely turn on every light in the building. A few moments later, it gets brighter.
Standing in the main area, do we like? Can I see him at all? Like looking around?
In the main area, no.
So how big is this library? If I'm looking, say, down what could be a row of books, like how far up can I see? How much of the ceiling can I see? How much of the ground can I see from standing at any position? Like, where can I get the best vantage point?
There is a center open way, and the vaulted ceilings reach about 60 to 70 feet.
You ever seen the library from Page Master? Because that's what I imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. Does that mean that the rows of books are freestanding?
They are attached to the main framework of the building walls. However, the shape of the building is not just a square. It has a lot of different sectioned off rooms, but the rooms are like the size of a building or the size of a large warehouse.
So, what are the chances if we started like physically searching this building that we could get even in any amount of time? Really, I guess. Like, how much time would it take us to search this whole building, considering its size?
Well, I know it pretty well, to be honest. So
Because you have someone with you that does know the layout, it could cut your time down quite a bit.
Well, I mean, you would know where to look first. So I guess let's search. Gotta find him.
I'm gonna start from the center area and just basically lay out a grid pattern, search in that.
And I'm gonna point out to him that just to say, like in character, I've seen a lot of movies and
No,
been
no,
to a
you
lot of
you do not
places.
move
I'm
more
not
than
afraid.
2 aisles away at any point in time.
Yes, I was gonna say we're not splitting up.
No, but we are gonna be like parallel,
Yeah,
cover more ground.
yeah.
The image you would see on the screen would look something like this.
Wonderful.
So one take bottom, one take top, and just walk along the area best you can.
Yeah.
It's a series of halls, almost like a maze cathedral. So, both of you, are you going together or splitting? You're splitting up, correct?
Well,
We're staying in the same room. It'll just be having. We'll have to. Maybe we can search each floor one at a time instead of splitting up and putting a floor between us.
Yo,
Okay.
yo. Do you have a newer phone?
Yeah.
Bruh, video chat me.
All right.
I want to put
Do that.
my phone with the camera facing out like a body cam in my pocket on my shirt.
And I have a jacket on, so I would definitely be able to do the same as soon as I see him do it. So I just do the same.
That way we can stay in constant communication.
Although at that point, all we're doing is talking to each other because neither one of us are looking at what's actually on the camera. But that doesn't matter.
True, but we can if necessary.
You're right.
I would
But
like
there goes.
both of you to roll your pursuit. If you have a identity that would substitute for pursuit, you can roll that now.
Could I use?
What does pursuit entail?
Pursuit
no,
is
wait, I see it.
it's an ability button. It's your ability to chase down, find,
What-
or
So would librarian work for me? Listen,
librarian would definitely work for you since you work there.
So I did X cop. I got 21 versus 20.
15 of 25.
15 of 25. So that is very close, Ewan.
Yeah.
Damaris spots this first. And he walks around the corner. And you don't hear him talk for a moment. But you do
as soon as
see the look on his face as he looks up.
So I follow his gaze.
So you walk around the corner of the books.
Man, I don't like it when you ask it like that. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. When you walk around the corner, you both witness something that you normally would only see in some kind of movie. And it moves your core sense of reality. Like, is what I'm seeing actually real? As you see, Jonathan is hanging upside down from his feet that are tied around a very large, thick, grayed out rope that is coming out of the ceiling. And there are lash marks on his face that look like they grow into his skin, like wounds being drawn onto his skin. He generally wears long sleeves and gloves and long pants. So most likely only his head is visible. But you see through his suit, he is soaking with blood as it drips down onto a pile of books that have been knocked over. And he is bleeding out heavily. And he is unconscious. I need both of you to make a violence check.
Wait, where?
You
That's
would roll your
Struggle or?
1 second.
Connect or structure.
1 moment. So, you are going to roll your fitness.
Oof. I did not pass that. 79 to 55.
32 to 55. Man, that's past.
Ewan, you have seen quite a bit in your time. You can place a hardened notch in your violence meter.
Is that the circular, like,
Yes.
just make sure I'm doing the right side? Okay.
Yes. Damaris,
Mm-hmm.
this is a bit too much for you because you know the library very well. In fact, nothing like this has ever happened, much less a rope that manifests from the ceiling, and much less your loss of time has compounded your confusion with reality. What is it like when you witness violence on a scale you haven't really seen? As you fail this check, this stress check.
I would imagine a wave of nausea to start. And then probably dizziness and mild panic.
Roll
And
through
then
that out
fight
for
or
us.
flight.
Yeah, because you
Don't
can only
know.
pick one of three: freeze, fight, or flee.
Do I have any sense of calmness to myself at this point since I did succeed that check?
You have a sense of calmness, however, you are overcome with two emotions: sadness for this is happening to someone that shouldn't happen to, and a little bit of anger because you're used to knowing what's going on and connecting dots, and things are unraveling right in front of you.
So, how high up off the ground is he?
He is about 15 feet.
Do any of the balconies from the other floor reach where he's hanging from?
They do not. The room does not all have balconies. Some have two floors, some have one very tall stack of books.
So would one of the ladders reach him? Like,
There are
library ladders?
there are ladders, but I want to circle back to this moment for you, Damaris. I want to see your reaction.
Probably be fight, dog.
Roleplay that for us.
First, I'm going to go grab the nearest ladder and yell at Mike to grab another.
Which is funny because that's exactly what I was going to do: is ask him the easiest, or if
Yell
you
at
knew of a
Ewan,
way.
sorry.
It's like, do you know a way that we can get them down? But seeing you immediately start going for a ladder, I follow you to grab another ladder.
Point to the closest one and to the closest one that I can see.
Easy
Run
enough.
to it to grab it.
It's a library with tall shelves. There's plenty of ladders everywhere.
Gonna go try to cut him down, I guess.
So you're climbing the ladder?
Do you have anything to cut him down with?
Yeah, I have two knives on me. As I pull a really shitty, cheap flip knife from my.
I have two knives. One of them is a butter knife.
When you reach out to touch the rope, you see that it is extremely dense and old. And the width of the rope is like larger than a soda can. It is an immense hangman's noose.
Hmm.
And when you touch it, a chill waves over your hand. And that is where we will pause. The mystery person, do not uncover your cam.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen. In your apartment at night, you are assaulted by multiple entities of a description you are familiar with in their desperate state. And they are imploring you to get up, go. And as you're trying to ignore them, you decide to leave the apartment. When you leave the apartment, every single place you turn, there is a different person staring at you. Eyes dead, lashes, sometimes bullet wounds, pointing you in a different direction or in a guided direction. Eventually, you've had enough of this, so you take off, try to get away from them. This doesn't exactly seem to help, as everywhere you run, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, there is someone pointing in a particular direction. And then your phone rings and vibrates. You go to pick it up, but the screen is black. The screen is on. You can tell it's on. But the screen is black, and a text forms. It looks slightly green, pale. It's a little glitched out. And it says, "A very close friend needs your help now." And then, overwhelmed with panic, you take off running as all of these entities are pointing you and guiding you. And they lead you to the Logos Minerva Library that is open 24/7. And they guide you through not the front door, but the back door. And you go through a series of stairs and hallways and different rooms. And everywhere you look, there is someone there to point you. Till eventually, they're pointing at a row of books, a hall of books. And they vanish. And then you go to turn the corner and you see two people standing there. One is holding a ladder. The other is on top of the ladder. And they are holding a very large hangman's noose that is dangling from the ceiling. And they're about to cut a very thick, gray, dense rope that is much larger than their hand. And you see dangling and bleeding profusely through a very well-dressed suit. Someone you might recognize significantly. They've aged quite a bit, but their face is covered in blood as they're hanging upside down. And what is even more disturbing is in this moment, you see hundreds of other entities. Their skin is grayed and flaked, and they're slightly emaciated, and their form is shadowed out slightly, and it's almost like wind is blowing them around. And their eyes are a very pale yellow. They're not glowing. They're just this sickly green, pale yellow. And they are climbing up off of the books, jumping onto this rope and carving into the body of this person, and then jumping back down. And they look at you briefly in the face before they turn their head and then they vanish. You may now uncover your cam. What do you do? Your mic is muted.
I scream, "Leave him alone!" And I run forward and try and position myself under the hanging body, as if to catch him when he falls if he cuts him down.
Scene is yours.
I step back from the ladder itself and put my hand on my gun without actually pulling it out. Who are you? Who are you, and why are you here? How did you get here? Do you know what's going on with this?
Excuse the fuck out of me! Do you think this is the time? Get him down!
We're gonna get him down. We were doing that just fine. My question
Really?
is who are you?
Really?
Can you two shut the fuck up and just catch him? To start trying to hack away at that rope.
I'm holding the ladder just as best I can.
Okay.
It's like any help is very much welcomed right now.
I don't have a knife or anything.
So this situation, do you have an identity, Damaris, that has any knife-related skills?
Cyberpunk.
Okay. You can roll that, or you can roll your struggle. This is not a stress check. This is your ability to cut the rope.
Let's roll struggle. See what happens. Oof.
You are struggling.
88 to 25.
You are trying to cut into this rope, and it's like your knife is dull.
Then I pull the bigger one off the back of my belt.
Okay. You can roll a second time then.
It's a cool prop that you have.
God damn. 58 to 25.
You put
Can't win tonight.
You put a small slice into this very thick rope.
Just keep hacking at it. That's all you can do.
Are you having an issue up there? Do you need somebody who knows how to handle a knife to take care of it?
I'd be my guess, but I'm gonna keep cutting at it.
Well, do you think you can hold him all by yourself?
I've been holding him.
Okay, then I'm going to walk over to another ladder and take out my knife and attempt to cut through the rope as well.
Okay.
Didn't exactly come prepared to cut a 4-inch thick rope today. My bad.
You can make a roll.
Mm-hmm. $79/35.
Both of you are trying extremely hard and with all your might to slice this rope, and you are putting the briefest of scratches within this rope. It's almost like the damn thing is like petrified. It's so old and dense. It's like it's from a ship rope from like the Mayflower. It's that old.
Did you say it was a hangman's noose?
It is a very
Is this-
large, thick rope tied in a hangman's noose.
Is this wrapped on his waist?
It's wrapped
his
around his
legs.
feet.
Somebody pick up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pick up on him.
The rope.
That's exactly what a. Yep. We can try that at least.
Very well. Just roll me a general percentile.
30.
You are able to slip him out of the rope, assisted with this person. And because there are 2 people helping him down, I will not make you roll.
Alright, get him down. Try to provide basic first aid the best we can and call a fucking ambulance.
As you get him down to the ground, you get a better look at this person who barged in on this situation. They have multicolored hair dyed in different strands. There is a graphic t-shirt of a cat with some foreign language. They are wearing several different necklaces, some tattoos, thick earrings, and there is what looks like Roman numerals on one side of the eye. You call the ambulance. Okay.
I push them out of the way and tell them, "Let me help."
Nobody cares if you help. Please help. But also, who are you?
Just move out of the way. And I focus all my attention on Jonathan, and I want to use my special shit or roll for it if I can to help stem the bleeding.
Okay. Okay.
That smirk scares me.
As it should.
I was gonna say it definitely should.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. 55 over 40.
Describe what it looks like as you try.
So I have a little leather satchel that I carry. It's as kind of a purse. And in it, I always carry like a basic first aid kit. So I'm trying to get out gauze and wrap the areas that I see are bleeding the fastest, where he's losing the most blood. See if any major arteries have been ticked open. Apply as much pressure as I can where needed. Things like that.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna run to the kitchen again and grab the first aid bag out of there.
Okay. Roll pursuit.
Me?
So, yes. As you are attempting to heal him, you realize you're going to need more help, and this is a little more than you can handle. Morris, you are trying to get there, but you ended up traveling pretty far into the library, and it's a long run. It's going to take you a minute to get back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna climb the ladder and examine the rope.
I was going to say briefly before you did that to make me a roll. You can roll your X-Cop.
34 over 20 versus 20, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, continue.
So I'm gonna climb the ladder and examine the rope itself, and potentially even take a picture of the rope with my phone, so I have a picture of it, like as far as the visual texture and whatnot goes. I kind of just want to see if there's anything about it that stands out.
Quite a bit. Are you touching it?
Yeah.
Your hand feels like ice. It travels up your forearm. It almost stings and makes your hand go numb. When you go to take a picture of it, it's almost slightly transparent.
The rope is?
Yeah.
It's ghostly.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm going to climb back down the ladder.
Okay. Also, the rope
Just
smells, has a scent, and it smells like salt and that very like rotten type of fresh dirt when you would dig up dirt like in the yard or like tilling, and you would smell like that excavation type dirt.
Hmm.
And it is incredibly dense. It's like you try to squeeze the rope with your hand, it feels like wood almost. It's so old and it's grayed out. It's lost a lot of its color, and it's got like a dirt feel to it. But its thickness, it's a single part of the rope is much larger than a soda can. Like
I mean, other than that, does it look like even just a gray rope? Does it look like a rope? Does it have the same sort of like twine wrapped up as a rope would look?
yes, it looks like it's like an industrial size continental type of ship rope.
From the top of the ladder, can I see the way that it's attached to the ceiling?
Yes. It is going straight through the ceiling.
And you said we're pretty far back in the library, right?
Very.
Are there buildings that overlook the library? Not that I'm going to go to one, I'm just curious.
That overlook the library?
Yes, that I could see the roof from if I were on top of any number of them.
No, the other buildings are taller.
That's what I mean. So, like, you could see the roof from the other building. The roof of the library could be seen from the other building.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Is it safe to say that I would have at least someone I could contact that's still in the police force that would know if there were any types of sightings? Like if they, saw something weird and called the police? Something that would be noteworthy, like a rope sticking up through a roof, especially one that doesn't look,
It's a
connected to it in any way.
it's a busy city. A lot of your fellow comrades are busy doing other things. You can make a roll to see how they're doing. Are you going to try to call now?
Yeah, well, as soon as I see the way that the rope isn't actually attached to the building, I'm just gonna text whoever I would know on force, I guess, that could get in touch with
Okay. You don't get a
the
response right away.
operator. Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna yell at him meanwhile. Are you calling an ambulance?
Did anybody do that? I'm calling an ambulance. That, but I feel like Brendo did that earlier.
I thought he said he was going
Damaris.
to, and then he ran away.
I corrected myself. Damaris,
I am.
way
He's
far
not,
away.
he's not there yet.
Like-
He's on his way back.
Here, I'll do this until I'm back. How about
Yes.
Oh, that works. So I just call 911 then.
just trying to find
New
I
Athens
want to
Dispatch.
cover,
How can I
sorry.
help you?
Bottom, by the way.
Oh, God.
I have a man that has several wounds. He is bleeding at this moment.
What's your location?
God, I forgot the name of the freaking library. Oh, and you told me to. I'm the
Sir,
worst.
do we need to trace your call?
Yes, please.
Very well. I see you're at the Logos Minerva Library.
Yes. Please send an ambulance.
Are they still conscious?
No.
Are they breathing?
Glances down. Can I see his chest moving?
Yes, it's moving.
Okay. Yeah, he's still breathing.
Good. Don't touch the body. Stay on the line. We will be there as soon as we can.
Okay, but hurry.
They are on their way right now.
I mute the call on my side and put my phone, or just hold my phone in my hand. I'm not going to keep it up to my ear. Which may be a problem, but it would be exactly what I would do, so.
You muted.
So the ambulance is on its way now. Staying on the line.
Okay, good.
I've muted the call.
As you're
So now
talking
that
to
we
this
have a
person,
waiting.
make another roll. I need to make another roll. Ex-cop.
I only rolled it once, but it gave me 2 scores, 34 over 20 and 76 over 20. So neither of them passing.
Her face seems kind of familiar.
Oh, God.
Break your camera.
No, my cat did.
Oh.
Bastard.
I similarly am having pet problems. My puppy just moved my whole situation.
Her face seems really familiar, but you can't place it. Also, center your cam again.
Damn it.
There you go.
So now that we have a moment, we're waiting no matter what. I know I've seen you before. Where have I seen you? What's your name?
I don't know where you've seen me. My name is
Okay.
Eve.
Eve what?
Eve. I'm looking at Jonathan and looking at his body. And do I recognize any of the words that have been written on it?
They are names.
Do I recognize any of the names?
No. Some in English, some in other languages.
So I just keep applying pressure. Well, what about you? What's your name? What's your life story? What are you doing here?
My name is Ewan Hanover. See how I have a last name, so it'd be easy to, I don't know, find me.
Yeah.
I was a cop for a very long time, and I don't forget faces.
Oh.
I've seen you before. And I don't know where, but I will remember.
You can roll your career. Eve.
Me? Okay. 53 versus 40.
You've seen a lot of people.
Okay. You're a cop. Am I supposed to remember every cop in this damn...
I didn't ask you to remember every cop. I said I know you.
I work with
I've
cops.
seen your face. Well, that might be why. Maybe we can start there.
Okay.
I haven't
What
been on the
does...
force in almost a year, though, so I don't know how recently you've worked with any cops.
What does my job have to do with the man laying on the floor bleeding, which I found you standing beside?
I think you should maybe hold back on the accusations because I haven't asked you, how you got here or how you found us in the middle of a huge library.
Yeah, I
And
found you
we
with
can
the bleeding guy.
You're right. It was us who murdered him. That's what it was. And then we hung him up by that really weird
Murdered?
group up there.
So, like, did you intend to kill him? Because
Oh,
he's
I
not
mean,
dead yet.
Yes, and that's why I called 911 too, to make sure that I'll be here when the ambulance
I've seen people
gets
do
here.
crazy shit, man.
I mean, look, believe whatever you want, but I just don't know that assuming that we murdered him is your best position, considering you came up
Don't
with
worry
it.
about my best position. Tell me why you're here, and maybe I'll tell you why I'm.
Oh yeah, that's what I usually do. I go find random people and tell them, everything I'm doing all the time. That's my entire game plan with life. So far, it's
Damn,
worked
we're
out
more
really
alike
well.
than we thought, aren't we?
Apparently so. But that doesn't matter.
About this time, Damaris, you come running around the corner. Your cam is
Cough,
covered.
cough, Damaris comes around.
I know. It's flipping the thing off of it. Dice bags for the win, people. What in the fuck are you two arguing about?
What in the
You
fuck
know
are
what? You know
you
what?
two
It doesn't,
doing
it
here?
doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I work here. Did anybody call a fucking ambulance or what?
That's a good reason. That's a
Yes.
great reason to be.
I throw her the fucking first aid kit and I go, since you seem to be so well suited with this, get the quick clot out, and if you can, use the quick suture to at least staunch the fucking bleeding.
I'm on it. I do exactly that. If I haven't already done it, I'm on it doing that.
So, how exactly are you doing it? Are you removing his clothing?
If I see that there is blood soaking through, then yeah.
His
Yeah.
entire
I'm
clothing
gonna
is
see.
soaked in blood.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna try and cut through it, either with if there are scissors included in the first aid
There
kit.
should be scissors in there. It's a trauma kit.
Yeah, that's what I
Interestingly
thought.
enough, you go to cut through it, and the scissors do not cut the suit.
What the fuck? What kind of shitty ass first aid kit is this? These scissors don't even.
Bro, that's from St. Elizabeth right down the road.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out my knife then and try to cut it with my knife.
Nope.
What the hell? I want to examine the clothes, start taking a closer look at them.
Okay. Make a examination check. I think you know which identity that is.
Yeah. $73/40.
It looks like it's really nice clothing, minus the blood. However, it's really dense. It's like super thick, tough material. It's not like normal clothing.
Oh, she's panicking. Or trying to do that, not panicking, sorry. I look at Ewan. What in the hell is the ETA on the ambulance?
They said they were on their way. I'll walk to the front now so I can get them back here faster.
Okay, you still on the phone with them, or?
Yes, and I'm holding my phone still in my hand with the call.
Okay, why don't you just go ahead and pull some strings real quick and pull some of your old bullshit authorization stuff and get them here a lot quicker.
I can try to do that. And I start walking towards the front of the library.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a minute, Ewan. So, he is still bleeding out. You can unbutton his clothes. They still,
Okay.
take off normally, but they don't rip. They
Yeah,
don't
if
cut.
I can't cut them off, then I'm gonna just try and unbut them as fast as possible.
So
I
what you
assist her in lifting him and moving him around as well, if needed.
okay? What you see when you unbutton his shirt is he's covered in tattoos. Number one, and his entire body has slice marks in it, and their names engraved into his flesh. Some of them are still being engraved.
Do I see
Holy
any of the
fucking
things that had
shit!
been
What
there?
is that?
Not at the moment, no.
What the hell's going on here? Um,
Dude, what are these fucking names?
I don't know. Do I recognize any of them?
Hundreds of them, thousands probably.
Jeez, fuck.
And it's about that moment both of you here do you see?
I start looking around, seeing
Obviously
if I can
not.
find
That's why I
the
wear
source of
glasses.
it.
It came from all around you.
Well, what the fuck are we supposed to see? Say that out loud, obviously.
Nothing happens. He's still bleeding.
Can I try and see? If I see, will it help him?
What do you want to do?
I want to help him.
Okay. Roll one of those identities.
A
Hey.
3.
So, you know the body fairly well, and you begin to apply pressure in particular parts around the heart and the neck to essentially strangle him and cut off blood flow to his body. It cuts off oxygen to his brain, but it also keeps him from bleeding out. So you have to play this very delicate game of applying enough pressure, knowing when to let off, applying enough pressure, knowing when to let off. Fortunately for you, it pays off, as it seems to be working well enough. And the flesh stops opening up. And the salts that are coagulating the blood begin to kick in. Surprisingly, this is supposed to be a very painful event, but it doesn't wake him up. Ewan. What are you attempting
Yeah.
to do?
Just gonna say, if I know calling in for an ambulance, like dialing 911 is not the method for police to do that. So I'm gonna go back to the phone first and take it off mute and ask, do you know how much longer this is going to be? I understand this is a city with a lot of people in it. I have seen it firsthand, but I do not know how much longer he's going to make it without an ambulance.
Sir, we're about 2 minutes out. Can you hold on?
I can hold on for 2 more minutes, and I'll put the phone.
You
back
actually
on
hear
mute
the
for that
sirens.
time. Oh, good. Yeah. So I put the phone back on mute and go towards the front door. Basically, I want to meet them at the front door and guide them straight to him.
Fair enough. 2 minutes later, they arrive. Loud sirens and all. They get out.
Please, this way.
Yeah, they start carrying the roll cart.
You may need a
and
gurney.
yeah, they start carrying the roll cart and the gear, and they follow you.
I lead him straight back to him.
They make their way to Jonathan, and one of them says, "Holy shit. What happened?" as they're going into work on him.
Wish we had a better answer for that.
Don't really fucking know, for being honest. I work here. My name is Maris.
Very
Okay.
well.
Be fucking careful.
Yes, ma'am. And they go to work on him, and they load him up, and they try to basically rub down more salts on him to stop the bleeding. And they're like looking around at both of you, like, how is this not waking him up? He should be
What the
screaming right
fuck?
now.
He should be awake by now. He should definitely be awake.
Whatever, we got to get him back. And they take off.
Okay, keep him alive.
I follow them.
I was gonna say, if you want, you should probably go with him. I'm gonna have a lot of explaining to my boss and stuff to do.
I'm not gonna leave the library, but I'm gonna follow them to the ambulance.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna follow the pair of them.
yeah, they take off, and they're checking down the hallway. There's surprisingly nobody in here. Late at night, nobody really goes to a library.
Not me. 2019.
Good job for me.
And one of them says, "Do we need to notify the police?"
I don't think so. I don't know. We couldn't find anything around. I'm gonna have to look around that pile of books and stuff.
Very well.
I don't even know. We found him and he was just bleeding more and more.
They get him down the stairs and into the ambulance, and they take off.
Isn't it standard practice for them to notify the police, though? Aren't they gonna do that anyway?
In shootings, yes, but there's no like evidence of a stabbing or anything here. So
There's evidence of slashing,
They-
and that's
they asked, but
enough
there's-
to be assault with a weapon.
They're still going to
Yeah.
notify, but they asked anyway.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be nice and calm.
yeah,
See if they can get any
better
information.
safe than sorry.
Once the ambulance takes off, I'm gonna walk back to the scene of the hanging. I don't know the best way to put that. And
Surprisingly,
examine-
none of the ambulance drivers or anything, they didn't even look up.
Hmm.
They were too focused on the body on the floor.
Yay for doing their job. So
I'm gonna snap a picture of the whole scene first with my camera.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
What the hell are you guys taking selfies for?
Am I
What
in
the
the
fuck
picture?
happened?
Did it look like I took a
Well,
selfie?
considering I have a DSLR out, I don't think I could take a selfie very well with that. But
What the fuck happened?
yeah, that's what we're gonna try to figure out.
The point from here.
Last thing I remember was talking to Jonathan about the fucking. I kind of glanced nervously at her because, like, I don't know if saying that out loud would be okay around her, considering it's like one of his best kept secrets, you know. About a
How
couple
do you know
cases that were
John?
weird. He's a medical examiner. He was here talking to me and
No, that's incorrect.
Ewan. Oh no, wait, he's a friend of Ewan. Sorry,
He is a funeral director.
I thought he was a medical examiner.
He studied to be one, but he's not one.
Okay, so sorry. I'm gonna redact that and say funeral. Bad.
Okay.
I just thought got his role wrong. Bad. But yeah, he brought me some weird pictures because he knows I'm into like weird occult stuff because it's a hobby. And Next thing I know, I'm looking at some weird fucking pictures. He's gone, and we find him like this.
Weird shit.
Extremely.
Sounds like John.
I look visibly shaken, just like, yeah, extremely.
Looking through the books and stuff that were around where he was hanging, like you said, there was a stack of books where there's blood and stuff, like his blood dripping on them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I get a picture of the spines of each one of those books so I know what books they were.
Okay.
And if any of them are of note.
Roll your notice. Or any identity that substitutes that, or
Yeah, I just rolled my detective 46 at 40 versus 40.
so you got over your
Yeah.
okay. You can actually what is your obsession?
Striving for perfection.
Okay. So, and you can flip-flop this roll if you want. Or, well, that wouldn't help you, would it? You can re-roll for your obsession too, but you have to take the second roll.
Could my obsession again?
Yes. Did you roll?
Not yet.
Okay.
Waiting
Because
for
I
him
know
to finish.
yours is finding the details, yeah.
Mine's just barely over. I'm trying to decide if I want to roll again.
It's a
I'll
fail.
roll again.
Okay.
It is still a fail, yeah.
Oof.
84 versus 40, which is even more of a fail.
Big oof.
There's a lot of blood covering these books.
That's why I'm trying to
And
take a picture of
you're trying to take pictures of them, but you're having to like wipe it off, and it just becomes like you're got blood all over your hands, and it just becomes a mess. And you're taking pictures, but it's hard for you to concentrate on each book. Damaris, you want to roll?
What does that failure fall under?
It's not a stress check. You don't have to put that there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Can I tell anything from the blood? Like how old it might be?
It's fresh. It's his.
Okay.
52 of 55.
Ooh, your obsession will let you flip flop that.
Huh?
Your obsession will let you flip flop those numbers to a 25.
Ooh.
You can only do it once per session, though. Okay, so you want to do that? Okay. There are several books that are of note. Most of them are just random ones that got knocked off the shelf. But they are all related to history of New Athens in the view of the occult.
Stacking all these books together.
And there is another one that shows like some census books that are basically old accounts of people that founded the city, and all the people that were, because it started out as a small city and it grew, and it basically tried to keep track of everyone in the city. It seemed
I'm
interesting.
gonna hand those to Ewan and be like, this seems more up your alley. I'll handle these, you handle those.
Start going through them. Because
Yeah. It's a pretty dense book. It's a lot of dull facts. It'd take you a good several hours to comb through them and find something interesting.
well, looking at them, can I tell where to start?
No, a lot of them are covered in blood. You'd have to actually sit down and take a good several hours to start connecting dots and making notes and seeing see if anything adds up to what's going on here. It might not make sense now. It might not ever make sense. Might not even be related, but they looked interesting.
Well, I drove here, so while we're waiting on the inevitability of the police to show up, I'm gonna go put these books in my trunk.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Taking bloodied books from a potential crime scene?
That is one way to look at it, and I keep walking.
That's the way to look at it. Yeah, that's what's happening. And you
I
haven't even said why you're
take pictures of the pile of books that I amassed and write down the names of all the ones I can.
Okay.
I turn back around and say, "Oh wait, you're right." And then I look at Damaris. Do you need my library card?
I mean, those are public record, but you could find those
Don't you
online.
work here? Shouldn't you care?
Cool. I'll
Yeah,
walk
I can.
and then I
give-
walk back to my car.
Well, I go, give me a list of the names and code numbers, please.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll message them to you later.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look at Damaris since he seems to be a little more recipient and just ask him what the fuck is going on.
We don't know, but we're trying to find out.
So
And,
you work here. Why is he here? I mean, you guys know John. Were you guys meeting up for some reason?
Well, yeah, to discuss the thing that John wanted us to look at and some other stuff. I mean, we do have a drunk sleeping in the kitchen right now, too.
Morris, your phone
What
vibrates.
weird shit is he?
I just glance at my phone real quick, look at the notification.
It's that person.
One second, please.
Yeah.
I unlock my phone and stuff and check message. Well, of course,
says-
encryption and all that.
This is a new friend. You have to protect her.
I just turn my phone around and show it to her. I'm like, you know anything about this?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got it.
Whose number is that? Do you? I don't recognize it, do I?
Mm-mm.
It's like,
Mm-mm.
fuck.
Are we being watched? Like, is there surveillance in this place?
Actually, there should be, but we only have like 16 cases. They're still updating the system. That's kind of part of my job as well. We
Okay,
got
so they
funding and there's a
probably all
budget
are in
issue.
a.
It's stupid, but
They're
most of
probably
them
in
are.
a security office, right? Like,
Well, here's the issue. And I start pointing up towards like where there would be cameras around this area. Some kids vandalized that one over there about 2 months ago. Placement. I point to the other one that would have looked at the view, and I go, and that one right there just flat out hasn't since like the 70s.
okay.
But there is a security room, and it's through the kitchen, which is kind of the main hub for most of the stuff for me.
But no one can
Can
see
go
us
there
right now.
bit. No, that's basically what I'm getting to here. Yeah, kind of looking up and around like paranoid as hell still.
Are there any other people that like know you're doing the secret little meeting thing or
Not that I'm aware of, unless this person that sent me the message about you knows anything about it. But he kind of just knows things. Seems like
you've talked to them before?
a couple times I got weird texts from like a random number, and then
About
I've
what?
sent off a message to no avail quite a few times. I don't know, just about like weird stuff pertaining to my situation. It's honestly kind of odd.
So you've got a stalker.
That's kind of what it seems like, yeah. But they're pretty harmless from what I can tell, so I just kind of ignore it.
Well, if you were here when the shit went down with Jonathan, maybe your stalker saw it?
See, that's why I'm looking around pretty bewildered right now, considering there are no cameras. And how the hell did he know you were beside me?
I mean, dude, you're holding a computer in your hand. Like, anybody can hack a phone nowadays, can't?
Yes and no. And
Can I assume I'm back at this point, or at least walking back enough to
Yeah, you're
hear
back.
portions?
I'm just like, to put it nicely, my phone doesn't read my location. I'm not new to this area
I'm
of
not
the.
insulting your phone, Linux user. I'm just fucking saying that people can track shit.
Message number back, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Look, for whatever reason, I'm supposed to protect guests, but
I don't need your
I
protection.
don't. Yeah, I don't
Protect.
do. If I'm being dead honest, I just want to figure out what happened to my buddy over there, and if
Yeah,
you're gonna
me
help,
neither.
you can help. If not, that's cool.
Eve,
If
your
But
you're
right
going to
phone,
now,
protect.
introductions
your
kind of
phone
over
vibrates.
for a second, okay? And I go back to looking at the books and jotting down all the name thing of them.
Eve, your phone vibrates.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna check my phone.
It says, "Yes, you do."
No, I fucking don't. Who the hell is this?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Son of a. I'm just gonna hold the fucking power button, smash it until it shuts off.
I glance up and I'm just like, yo, you okay over there?
It doesn't shut off, and it keeps reading the same text over and over again.
Yeah, there's better ways to turn those off nowadays.
I'm just gonna stuff it back in my pocket and like try and turn it off, vibrate on the side.
Okay.
So that was a fun episode. What like where's is Grim still asleep, I guess, passed out?
That's the drunk one.
Yeah, somebody needs to make sure. I
You don't
guess
know who, like, you haven't seen Grim.
Well, no, he had
Well, I
said
said the drunk one.
Oh,
he
okay.
said they had a drunk friend.
Yeah, he should still be on the cot in the kitchen last I saw him. He was still in there when I grabbed the first aid kit.
Well, I think I've got at this point a lot of reading to do. So
His hands are covered in
Yeah,
blood.
same.
I may just get with you when I find something, and I will find something. I'll be in touch, and then I'm just gonna start walking towards the front of the library to get in my car to go to my apartment.
Your phone vibrates.
I ignore it all the time.
Starts ringing.
Yeah, I figured it would. I look at it.
It says, "She is a new friend. You have to protect her."
Not very friendly to me, and I mean, I don't even say that out loud. Then I just keep walking.
Same to you, asshole.
You get to the edge of the library where the front doors are. And what you never noticed before, you definitely notice now, as the roll cage activates and drops down over the door.
Can I roll it back up?
Sure. You
Is
have,
there
you have to
another
make a
door
roll.
that I can try
There's several doors.
Such
Yeah,
a
well,
stubborn bastard.
I try to use any of the doors that I can actually still access. Because one could be a coincidence, but 2 to 3 becomes, a problem.
Okay. There's no immediate doors. You'd have to actually go deeper into the library.
To try to leave the library?
Yeah.
This is the only one that's closest to me that I can leave with?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I would just sigh and try to roll it back up.
It is locked.
I walk back over to Damaris. So, do you have a key for the roll cage for the doors?
Bro, that roll cage's been broken for like 3 years. What are you talking about?
That roll cage would
It's like
disagree.
rusted shut.
I mean, it doesn't seem very shut to me. I mean, I guess it's shut over the door. But see, it wasn't just a moment ago.
Oh. Okay. And I just kind of I guess I walk up that way and peek at the door.
You've never seen that thing close.
How do you fuck up something that monumentally bad?
Apparently, we're not.
I've never seen this thing shut in my life, and I've worked here for like 8 years.
Then don't you mean how did I fix something so monumentally well?
Well, I mean, if you don't know how to open it, then that's a fuck up now, isn't it?
Girls, you're both pretty. Where's the back door?
There's a couple. Dude, can I hear his phone going off still?
Yeah.
What? Why is your phone exploding?
Oh, apparently I'm popular. Let's walk to another door. Let's start walking towards another door.
I show him the exit map for the library.
Okay.
And I'm just like, look, man, I'm gonna finish getting these books together and shit cleaned up.
The other doors
Okay.
have key cards.
And you're shit out of luck until I'm done.
What about the front doors, the ones that I came in originally?
Those are the ones that shut.
Oh, fucking course they are.
What about the door I came in?
It was open.
So, Ewan, you're just done stealing books and you're heading out?
As I'm walking away, I go, public records.
This is a library. I'm borrowing. Anyway,
Okay.
so how did you get in here? Did you use the front door?
I used a door.
Do you remember how to get back to it?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember how to get back to a door.
It's a big place. I don't know how well it works. Was it already open?
Yeah. Why do you think I walked through it?
I'm gonna start walking towards one of those doors. Like
You
I
have
know
no
what
idea
the
where it's
exit
at.
plan looks like.
Yeah,
well, I
you
know
do.
what the exit plan looks like. So
Mhm.
I
So
can,
you just took the bloody books, and how am I supposed to get in contact with you? Are you going to do something, look up something, figure out something about how this shit happened? Because I
that's
want
how
answers.
investigations work. I can't give you an answer I don't have. So when I have one,
When you say that,
Morris knows how to find me.
Ewan, make an X-Cop roll.
I passed 14 versus 20.
You remember those words being said directly to you. I can't give you answers I don't have. By her. In the medical examiner's room at the morgue at the police department.
As I'm walking off, I literally turn around to look back at her. You're a medical examiner. I point at her.
Yeah, guilty. Okay.
Are you still a medical examiner?
Yes. I mean, I've probably seen you. I see a ton of cops. That's
Can I overhear this since I'm at like the
Not
table nearby?
Yeah,
cop anymore.
it's a quiet library. It's y'all ain't trying to be quiet.
All right, so wait a minute. If you're a medical examiner, has Jonathan ever shown you some pictures of some weird corpses?
I see weird shit all the time.
We're talking like deformed horns, weird.
Dude, I see weird shit all the time. Are you talking about have I seen actual horns growing out of a human skull?
With like,
or
eyeballs shoved in their throat. Pretty fucked up features, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get kind of shocked and my eyes widen, start nodding. Yeah. Yeah, really recently, matter of fact. Is that
Okay,
what
then.
John was looking into?
Yes.
That's just kind of fucked up.
When did you see
Okay,
the
so you
pictures?
guys were helping him then look into this bullshit?
Trying to, yes.
When did he show you
Alright,
the pictures?
I'm in.
And what do you mean you're in? Nobody invited you. I just looked at
Um,
I looked at Ewan and was like, fuck.
I saw those bodies
I mean, fair. But your
with my
attitude's got to
own
change
eyes.
at least a little bit. All right, we're trying to help here. Reason to be so combatant. We are pretty relaxed. All right.
You say you
And
show her
I
the
just-
pictures?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I
They're still
found
tucked
you
away.
with one of my friends hanging in a noose, bleeding to death.
We were trying to get him down, and instead of saying, what are you like? You went very, very accusatory really quickly for starters.
Wouldn't you?
I don't know. Not if I didn't have
not-
all the facts, I guess.
Well, I think about like everything I've been through so far, and then I'm like, no, not.
Are we gonna piss and moan about manners, or are we gonna get something done?
Depends on your manners, I guess. And I start walking towards the table where the pictures were.
They're
Is
still there.
this phone still blowing up?
Yes.
Will you check your goddamn phone or put it on silent?
I reach my hand into my pocket and push the down button twice to silence the volume down button twice to silence it.
Do you look at it?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't need that shit in my life.
You're so fucking stubborn. So
walk
I
over
start
to the table itself.
looking up these books online and finding if there's any legal PDFs of them.
I'm gonna follow them over to the info.
Roll your librarian.
Ooh, 61 at 25.
You don't find anything.
Let me take a look at him. Do the same through my detective.
I could take the longer route and just start scanning them in.
So, what are you trying to access here? Just the internet or what?
Me?
Ewan.
Oh, I was gonna go through the books that he had left. Like, or were you going through the internet trying to cross-reference things?
No, I was trying to grab digital copies of these books so I could distribute them to all of us to look through if necessary.
Hmm.
Since as far as I know, we only have one copy of each of these.
So I typed that into Google, right? And wait.
I'm just standing by, critically looking at everybody, my arms crossed over my chest.
Are you at the table?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not doing anything. I'm
You
just
see,
watching everybody do things.
you see those bodies, pictures of those bodies in their ritualistic state on the table. And you remember getting them that day.
You see her just kind of visibly stiffen and crack her neck, her back, look at them, look away, make a point of not looking back down at them and look any direction but at those specific ones.
Okay. Um, Ewan, are you showing off anything? Or are you just looking? What's going on?
Oh, I'm standing. I was going to look. I thought he was going through like physical evidence. I wouldn't even attempt to do it with the computer. So
There's still the because do you remember the specific detail of the examiner's report? You should take better notes.
I've said that so many times, and yet you ask me specific things, and you know I don't have it.
Roll your ex-cop. We'll see if you have it.
Not only don't I have it, I might have thrown it away. It's a 49 out of 20, or versus 20.
It was relatively recent, but you remember him talking about the medical examiner's report and how something was different.
What information do you know? What do you have? What did Jonathan have? I know he had some shit. He had to have.
I mean, we started this out looking. He got in touch with me to meet with me about these specific bodies because of some cases that I've worked in the past. They were similar, but none of them quite like this. Although, I guess you could call it close, like maybe a first attempt, and this being the final. But there was something different about these bodies. You said you examined these bodies?
Yeah. Yeah, I was the only one in when they were brought in, and it wasn't a big case yet. It was just 3 a.m. and I was there, and yeah, I got to look at them firsthand. I did the autopsy.
Unfortunately, I worry it'll never be a big deal. And that's a problem. Um, can you take me through what you noticed about them? As though I'm a police officer? Not anymore, but
While they're doing that, I'm going to go take these books to the book scanner and start scanning them in to make PDFs of them.
That will take you an incredibly long amount of time.
I mean, it's an automatic book scanner.
They're also covered in blood.
True.
I want my PDF to have blood on it.
Fair. I'm going to go put them in their own bin in the meantime then and set them behind the counter where I can find them.
Okay.
So you used to be a cop, right? You're not one anymore.
I'm not. I was for a very long time. But you
Then,
still a medical examiner. And you
yeah,
examine bodies,
I
which are
did.
similar to cases that I had. Did you notice?
But
when they
as a
gave it
cop,
out?
you know it's illegal as fuck for me
It's
to
illegal
talk
as fuck
about it
for me
with
to
you.
look at these pictures. It's illegal as fuck for us to have these pictures. We've already crossed that entire
Good
thing.
point.
There's no reason to try to hold things back now.
Pointing it out.
Make a notice check, Eve.
Okay.
You and I sent you a message on Facebook.
I know.
$54 versus $55.
On the stack of images of these bodies, you see on the desk, tucked under some of them, a medical examiner's report.
Is that my report or is that their report? I'm asking you guys. Is that my report or is it the one that they gave everybody else, the police, they handed out?
Get it. I didn't know there were two.
You actually did know there were two.
Oh, I guess you're right. I'm sorry. It's my
Because
fault.
you were
So
there
but
on
he
the
had
scene.
the one.
He had the
but
original.
He had yeah, I was going to say he had the original one, not the one that they gave out. I made note of that. So
Right. Oh, you do take notes.
I said I made note of that.
I'm just
Sometimes I
fucking with you.
take notes. I just don't take good notes, and I don't take them often enough because I'm into it, and that's probably a problem.
I'm just playing with you.
The one that Mr. Brownstone had was what he called the original one, and when I remember going through it, there were details in it that were not made public, even to the rest of the police force. So unless he
Mr.
brought the other one,
Yeah, there's the shit they told everybody, and then there's what happened.
Yes. So
You know too.
I would imagine that the one that's laying there on the table is the original, as that's what he showed me to begin with.
How the fuck did he
how
get a
else would
hold of
he have
mine?
Well, I didn't say it was yours. I imagine
They're
it probably
definitely
is.
mine. If
It's your handwriting.
yeah, these are mine. Absolutely. This is my handwriting.
Look, I just don't ask questions when it comes to John. If I'm being honest.
It's fair enough.
Try not to ask him where.
But once he's recovered, y'all can ask yourselves.
Yeah. He won't answer, but
He better fucking answer. He'll answer me.
if you say so.
Mm-hmm. I say so.
So, what was up with your phone blowing up earlier? You need to take a call or something? Because we can fuck off for a while.
No, I'm good.
Huh. All right. I'm going to try to search the internet again.
Roll your cyberpunk. What are you searching for?
That's what I'm doing. Legal copies of this book on the internet.
Okay.
The most legal they can.
God damn it. 66 to 25.
You don't find anything. Not even
Probably safe to say, guys, these books aren't actually on. So we're gonna have to just work with these hard copies and keep them as safe as we can. Pull them out, start wiping blood off of them, I guess.
Yeah.
I put my hand out as though hand me one without saying that.
Crap your damn self. I'm already cleaning.
So this is where
I
we're
grab a
at.
book,
We're
start
we're reading books that happen to be in a pile that he was hung over.
You heard what I heard, didn't you? Something was telling us to look, and it didn't exactly pertain to the situation, so I'm assuming it was a clue as to look under or look at what it was pointing us to. It's a theory, but it's all we got right now, so excuse me while I do the research.
Reading can be fun when you're literate. And I open up one of the books and start swiping off portions of the pages and start reading.
I've got a master's. I know how to read.
God, I would hope so. You're in a library.
And get to reading, and then I just continue what I'm doing, going through the book, getting blood, as much blood as I can, I guess, all the pages, and attempting to read them, or at least attempting to scan them.
I'm gonna get some soft cloths and such so I don't damage the books while I clean them.
There is a flash blinking light from your pocket, Ewan.
Hey, you wanna... I think your phone is gonna explode.
It never has before. A sigh
Has it
happily
ever done this
unfold.
before? And I'm just like staring at it, at his
A
pocket, as
sigh-
it just like deet 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 deet.
It's
just sigh
vibrating.
heavily and pull it out of my pocket. Of course it is. And look at it.
It's a black screen that glitches digital text onto it. On it, it says, "Start from the beginning."
What the fuck does it say?
I turn it around and show it to her.
The beginning.
Start from the beginning of
The scene.
what, the story? I messaged the number and I'm like, of what, the story?
You
We
don't get a
start at the
response.
beginning. We're going back
So-
a long ways. And
Oh my God.
unfortunately, to even go to the beginning, we'll have to leave this library. There were other murders, like I said, that were similar.
Is there any religious paraphernalia?
That's
around?
when you'd have to roll notice. But when he says there were other murders that were similar to Morris, you know exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, fuck. I was hoping to avoid that. I've avoided it this whole time. Alright, so my personal stake in this, since I haven't talked about it yet, is I am looking for my sister, who, and you're gonna think I'm crazy because you already do, has possibly been possessed by an evil entity and killed quite a few people, and at the very least, she's a sociopathic killer who is very good at evading the law enforcement. So, I'm doing my best to try to track her down.
Great.
She's very good at that, in fact.
Yeah.
We'll add that to the
Assumably.
list of shit to do.
In fact, the whole reason that I even know him is because I was questioning him about the case at one point in time. A
Or-
case he was working on, I should say.
He actually had you as a suspect once.
Yeah. I was going to
So-
exclude that little tidbit, thank you.
I was just making sure.
So you
I
have
cleared
a sociopath sibling that might have
Possibly
strung
sociopath.
up our mutual friend and be running around somewhere.
Alright, so hold on,
And
I'm going to
you
stop you right there.
didn't think
About the
that was
strung part,
pertinent.
did anything about that look earthly to you?
You
You
can
were up there right
actually,
against the rope like I was.
from this
You smelled the
vantage point,
salt, smelled the dirt.
you can still see the rope from this vantage point.
Yeah, I'm pointing at it.
Yeah, on the ceiling.
Oh shit, what hell was that?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I pressed enter. Somehow it did that.
A picture of the rope as I took it. This is what happens when you take a picture of that rope.
I just look at her and I'm like, we are in over our heads and we are small fries compared to whatever the fuck is doing this. And I point up at the rope. Whether you believe me or not is up to you. But as you saw, our lives are very much in danger.
Yeah, no shit. You are sure as fucking over your head.
Yes, and you're not exactly contributing. So
Why should I protect you?
oh no, we're
You're
supposed to
the
protect
ones
you
with the
apparently.
yeah,
So
right?
anything
See?
anything you know about the that person messaging would be great too.
I have no fucking idea. It's the same number for all of us, right?
Okay, well how did you get here?
I'm gonna check my phone and look and see the
I don't have
number.
a number at all. There's no number that displayed. It was a black screen with text on it.
It's all a black
Like
screen.
Oh, I don't
you
have a
keep
number
accusing
either.
us of all these things, but we have no fucking clue who you are either. You showed up right as we found him, which is sus as fuck considering we thought we're the only people left here. As far as I'm concerned, you're the fucking killer if he dies. So maybe a flipper perspective might help you realize we're kind of in the same boat here, you know? So ease it up a bit.
You're right. You are way over your head. You're probably going to die. Unless you
Lord, I
just
just look frustrated and go back to cleaning the books. It's like that. You'll get it eventually. Hopefully before
fucking idiot.
another one of us die.
Ewan,
Yeah.
roll your donuts.
Donuts.
Yay, donuts. 38 versus 40. I finally passed one of those.
I love that spell name.
It's cop, donut magic.
Donut. Love it.
So
be dunking
what are
on
you
people
doing
with
in
it.
this moment?
Going through the books with my phone sort of sitting in my lap with the book kind of.
You're
It's basically like this.
you're flipping through these pages, and all of a sudden it's like someone hit you on the head with a hammer, and you get a flash of an old house, and it like almost knocks you out. It hurts so bad.
So, okay, flipping through the pages then. The back of the head?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck!
Helix, look at the DM chat.
I see it.
Make sure.
What house is it that I like? Can I even really know?
You've never seen it before. But it was as you were flipping through the pages.
So I go back to that page. Going
Okay.
back pages slower, I guess, is a better way to put it. Like retracing my steps, visually speaking.
You go back to the page, and there is a. I mean, the pages are covered in blood, and it's like a mess. It's a massacre. You're all still covered in blood, and surprisingly, there's like a paragraph that isn't covered in blood, but it's not covered in blood in a way that looks random. It looks very specific, like the blood has been moved out of the way to basically highlight that.
What's it say?
It says Herringer Estates.
It's the same name as the orphanage.
orphanage? What are you talking about? Did you find something?
Well, maybe.
Show me.
I show her the text, at least, like, pointing out the fact that the blood is everywhere except around this block of text. I guess
Does-
you can call this a coincidence, but it doesn't seem like it.
Herringer
No, it doesn't.
Estates, established in 1740, 90 acres, three miles west of Artemis Grove.
Do I know where it is?
You know that the bodies were found outside of the Artemis Grove.
That's near where the bodies were found.
Yeah.
Ewan, you are aware of the orphanage.
Yeah.
And in your investigation, you looked into the history of the orphanage because this is where the first murders took place. And during the history of the orphanage, there was another mysterious event in the 1940s where 17 children of the orphanage went missing, just were gone. Shortly after that, there was investigations and accusations, and it led the estates and the orphanage into ruin. And the property and business never recovered. It became an abandoned house, which is where the murders took place.
I think we're gonna have to go there.
Go there?
Yeah. I don't know if we have a choice.
Do I still see any of the things?
The only thing you see is the rope.
And I saw the back to the beginning. Correct?
Yeah, he showed it to you.
Yeah, he showed it to me. Okay. Yeah, that's... Wake up your drunk friend, I guess. Or we leave his ass here. I don't really fucking care. But if we gotta go, let's go.
I think we need a better game plan. I don't know if it's a good idea to just go for a couple of reasons. One, there were a lot of murders that not only, I'm not going to say the missing were murdered, but they were never found. On top of the murders that took place there within, recent history, I don't think it's a good idea to just burst open the door. We need to go there for certain, but we need to go there with a plan.
I'm not saying we go bursting open any doors. You said that this place might be relevant. I'm saying, yeah, we should go.
I think we have to go. But I don't think we need to go this exact way.
Ewan, you know specifically 20 miles within the Artemis Grove is where one of the newer murders took place. The ones that were precise.
Are those the ones that are, or those are ones that are like closer to where we would be now anyway, aren't they? I'd still rather go to the estate. I just need to figure out more. Like I don't want to go there as blind even as I was coming to this library, even though I've been to this library 1,000 times.
The first murders all took place together in the same house at the same time.
Yeah.
The other ones were individuals found at different locations.
And we'll have to check out those locations too. But trying to think.
But you know that the newer one and then the event that took place, they are relatively fairly close together.
Damaris, do you have any information about can you get old newspapers? Old newspaper like
Bro, they're all cataloged in the just go over one of the computers and look it up by date.
Okay.
They've all been digitally cataloged. We've been switching over all digital for quite a while. At least digital back.
Good.
Interesting
I'm gonna go
point
over
of
and try
order,
to-
Damaris. It's almost like an uphill battle trying to switch everything over to digital. This library and its owner is something you've been fighting with for a long time. It's like they want to keep things older in the old ways and less digital, less modern.
What do you think? I just have my thumb up my ass all night when I work? I mean, come on.
I want you to be aware of that.
Yeah.
It's actually a struggle for you to implement those things. Just something to take note of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go to the computer and look up the missing children from when the estate was an orphanage and see if I can find the paper from that point in time.
That's gonna be an ex-cop skill.
Because it seems like it would be. What can I use detective for that too, or would it have to end up being?
Oh, you have both?
Yeah.
Okay, either one.
Let's see which one. Yeah, because it seems like the detective would be better for that. Which it's not. It's not. I stare blankly at the computer and smack my head on it a couple of times, like a monkey would. Just like.
Hey, you all right over there?
Look, I'm looking for this, and I tell him the date that I'm looking for and the subject matter, essentially.
You're getting blood all over the keys. And
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
fine.
wash your fucking hands. I go and grab some Lysol wipes and start wiping down everything.
I sigh. Tell him again the date that I'm looking for, and the story, specifically the kids that went missing. I'm just looking for information on this, and then go to the bathroom to wash my hands. Because he's right. I am, in fact, covered.
I ignore the newspaper route and look the public record route.
Okay. Roll.
Meanwhile, I'm just watching
48,
everything they're
25.
doing, trying to figure out what the hell they're on about.
You see them start trying to look up records specifically now.
What the fuck are you looking for?
Oh, do I need to?
Case with those children. We're trying to find anything out about it.
Do I need to vanish if I'm going to wash my hands?
No.
Okay. Because it shouldn't take too long. I was just curious.
What about missing kids? What does that have to do with this?
He has better knowledge of it than me.
I don't know anything about that case, do I?
That happened in the 1940s.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. What are you talking about?
A good time ago, like a long time ago, fairly, there were the reason these estates stood out to me is that it used to be an orphanage, and there were kids that went missing there.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's actually what caused the orphanage to be not an orphanage anymore. Like, you can look it up as estates. I want to know more details about what happened, because the first murders, the very first ones that we looked into that are similar to this case, the ones that were, or I guess at this point still are, pinned on Damaris's sister. That's right, isn't it? It's those murders that happened in the house, right?
I mean, it very well could have been her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like those are
Wait,
the
there were other
ones-
murders like this? Other victims like this?
There's been like a media. Wow.
very similar.
Damaris, this is the
Um,
first time you've had a connection to the location of anything related to your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Ewan never told you where those things took place when he was questioning you.
Oh. Then yeah, I'm gonna fervently search for any information I can about this.
Is your rage stimulus triggered?
Not really, not yet.
Okay. You search for a good while.
It's like noble might trigger.
What's your noble?
Learning hidden knowledge.
Yes, definitely. You can re-roll. If you want to
Sweet.
use it
For this one.
currently,
Rich.
you can hold on to it if you want. It's up to you.
Probably hold on to it for
Okay.
maybe
You-
something else we need to find out.
You do not find any more public records about the estates. It's like they don't exist.
Well, that's odd.
What?
Can't find anything on him at all.
In
No
fact,
mention
Nothing?
whatsoever.
you actually get to the point of that year
Mhm.
and that event that he told you about, and you're looking, and those are missing.
I look at him. I'm like, "Are you sure this actually happened?"
Yes.
The dates are missing. There's nothing under those dates.
It's been scrubbed clean. Like this is. I can't even begin to describe how hard it is to do this.
Can
Like
you go back?
somebody's hiding something?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you go back looking at the estate itself and see?
Yeah,
if
look at
it
Can I
has
try to find
any-
property records on it?
Yeah.
Mhm. You can do that. Roll.
Like look up real estate or whatever. Transaction, whatever. Please don't be garbage. 28 to 25. Close.
You find exactly where they are supposed to be, but they're not there.
We have to go to this place. I mean, if
That's
all
like-
the info is scrubbed on it, what else is there to do?
Oh boy.
Ewan,
Yeah.
give me some more donuts.
$92.40.
Oh my god.
Flip flop.
Everyone else can roll a notice. As Ewan, you feel
Not me.
scratching all over your skin.
I'm
Oh
just
no.
uncomfortably sitting. Like, is it painful scratching? Like, feeling as though it's cutting me?
It's not cutting you, but it's like it's not comfortable. It's like nails on your skin.
So I take my suit jacket off, and basically pull up my shirt and look. Like, so I have visual confirmation that this is happening.
It looks like It's blunt. It's not sharp, but it looks like a lot. You can't count how many, but a lot of tiny hands are clawing like nails at your skin in different directions.
Do I notice him jump back?
You can see it
Or
on his
start
skin.
moving and
Oh,
squirming?
if you don't
Can I
notice me
see-
jump back, I immediately.
Hey guys, let's get Grim
Can I
awake
see-
and get the fuck out of here.
Can I see the things I saw before jumping on the...
You can make a roll.
All right, what do I roll?
Things that you need to see.
Okay, notice. All right.
No. The identity.
Oh, okay. $88 versus 20.
You just see.
Doubles.
It just looks like these invisible, like, it looks like finger, like, movements being pushed into the skin.
What the fuck?
You feel it all over you, Ewan.
Yeah, I'm audibly not quiet about it. Like, that's what I said, saying it's just screaming, like, not at the, like, top of my lungs, but almost like, and I'm starting to, like, rub my skin.
It's not coming off.
Well, I didn't think it would, but that's not going to stop me from trying.
I'm just saying. You can actually roll a notice, Eve.
Okay, dude.
There you go.
21. There.
You can see clearly now. Sorry.
His hand was resting on an image as he was scrolling through the books.
Okay.
And it's that symbol.
Do I see it?
Mm-hmm. He was touching it.
Do I make the connection?
Of
That him touching it may have caused it.
yes.
And I'm gonna grab the book from him very carefully so that I don't touch it, but yank it away.
It's not on the book. It's one of the crime scene photos.
Oh, okay. The photo then.
Okay.
Which photo is it specifically? Is it just the symbol, or is there something else in the photo?
It is a close-up.
Then I'm gonna stare at the symbol and look back at him. Can I try my skill again? Or?
Your skill wouldn't help you here.
Okay.
However, you do have a memory. I put the symbol up so you can see it.
That was one of the many.
That was
the one.
That was the one that was shown to you by
Okay.
something beyond.
Okay. What the fuck is this from the crime scene?
Oh yeah,
Did
it
you
was
touch this?
it was on the bodies when you examined them.
Oh, it was carved into the bodies too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually a platinum disc that was melted
Right.
into the skull.
Yeah. fucking symbol. I'm gonna fold it so that the symbol is smooshed in on itself, like hamburger wise if you were folding paper as a kindergartner.
Okay.
And just fold it into a little square and put it in my pocket.
It starts moving in your pocket.
Oh, that's fun. I yank it out.
Okay.
What the fuck? And I'm looking at it, and is it still moving in my hand?
No, but it unfolds and decreases perfectly.
Are you seeing this shit?
Am I still?
You're right there, and you're still feeling that.
Oh yeah, then I haven't stopped focusing on that and trying to like basically rub my skin through my body almost.
Damaris, what are you doing?
Look at books, and I'm just like, yeah, that's that symbol's not been very fun to us so far. All this shit started when that thing started being weird.
I'm gonna take out my knife and try and stab the symbol into the table.
I need you to roll.
What shall I roll?
Something related to knives.
Okay. $45/35.
40/35.
Oh, yeah, 40/35. Thank you.
Yeah. We don't do nearly good enough most of the time. It has to be pointed out when we do better.
Less failure, always better.
Describe what happens when it doesn't work.
So I kind of throw the paper down on the table, and I grab my knife up in my hand. I wrench down with all my strength, and the paper, which had been squirming in my back pocket, kind of flutters and jumps and squirms away from my knife. And I chase it twice before I get the knife stuck in the table, and the paper kind of flutters off to the other side and stops moving. And I yank my knife back out of the table in frustration.
What does your knife look like?
It's pretty simple. It's just a dark, maybe Damascus steel, all one piece, curved blade with 4 holes in the hilt.
So
And when you see her pull it out, it's just her finger placed in the center of the furthest hole in the hilt, and it kind of spins open over her hand.
like a karambit.
Exactly like a karambit.
Okay. You all see this. When that happens, yeah, like that.
Okay.
Exactly like that.
The hands stop, Ewan.
They stop me.
They stop messing with his skin.
Oh, they stop scratching on him. Okay.
The hell was that? Because I didn't even see the paper. I wouldn't have looked at it.
It was fucking moving.
The paper was moving.
It was fucking moving like it was possessed. You said your sister was possessed. This paper's possessed. Something is not fucking right. We shouldn't be here anymore.
Is the paper still moving at all?
I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here.
There is a large thud across the hall.
Wait, I'm not a cop anymore. I don't have to go check that.
What the fuck?
That would be my cue to get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna
It
gonna
came
call
from the
in.
direction of the rope.
Oh, great. Is the rope still hanging there?
No.
I think it would be safe to assume that the rope just fell down, guys. Would you want to go get a closer look at it?
Why not?
I start walking in there. Start walking towards where the rope was hanging. Something about the cop in me won't let me just hear that and not go investigate.
Okay. You make it to the rope. And the books are put back on the shelf. What ones that were left? The blood is gone. But the rope, about 60 feet in length, very heavily is laid on the ground.
I look up where it was hanging. Can I see a hole?
Nope.
Are there still marks where we cut it?
There's scratches, more likely.
Hmm.
It's like trying to cut wood with a butter knife.
So, still think we did this, or as I'm looking up?
No, I don't think you did.
Can I use a cultist to examine it?
Yes.
Please don't be garbage. 11 of 40.
Examine the shit out of that.
It has an energy around it. It's cold. And it vibrates your hands and chills them, almost like frostbite when you touch it. When you pick up this rope, it is immensely heavy. It's a struggle to even lift part of it. It
We don't need the
has some kind of energy that unsettles you. It like whew, it unsettles you immensely whenever you're touching it.
I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I don't care what happens to that.
I take
That's
it it's not a library feature.
no, it isn't.
Can I recognize too that there's something unnatural about this, like something
You want to examine it?
otherworldly? Yeah.
Okay. How do you examine it?
Let me see. I'm gonna get up very, very closely, lean down and take a look, but I'm not gonna touch it. Not yet.
That very strong smell is in the air
Okay.
of excavated earth, like decayed earth, and then salt.
Is there a way I could? You said it's like trying to cut through wood with a butter knife. Can I take a sliver of it, like a sample of it?
Yeah, roll your knife.
All right. $21.
You slice along the rope and you shave it off. It's like bark. It bends, it cracks. It's immensely old rope, but it's so dense and so strong. But you get a sliver of it.
Okay.
When
I'm
you touch
gonna.
it, it fucking makes your hands freeze.
Okay. Does it feel like dead flesh?
No, it feels like a mixture between wood, bark, stone. Like it's hard.
Okay.
It's dense.
Okay. Then I'm going to, as best I can, pocket the sliver I've taken with the intent to like check it
You put it in your
later.
pocket, and your leg is freezing cold. Like it stings. It's so cold.
What about I have a leather satchel on me, like a purse? Can I
Okay.
put it in there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it in there.
All right.
Well, I don't think we need the rope. Let's leave it here to make someone else uncomfortable.
As I start looking around, I'm like, so am I wondering who put the books away?
You notice too.
Or the fact that they are devoid of blood? Are ours now devoid of blood? And I go back and look at the ones in the tote.
Nope.
Huh.
I
No
mean,
blood anywhere.
did you
Yeah, I go back to
also-
them and I'm like, all right, so only these got clean, not the ones we got.
did you also
Something
notice
There's
actually.
bleeding everywhere.
There's not a hole in the ceiling where the rope could have been hanging. There's
Oh
nothing
yeah, I
to
noticed that
attach it
too.
to.
It's gone.
Again, let's just wait. What's gone?
The hole.
Oh, I thought you said it was coming out of the ceiling.
It
That's why I
was.
asked if there was a hole there.
It was coming directly out of the ceiling, like it's going through the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then when the rope,
Think of like D&D, it's incorporable and you just walked halfway into a wall.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that. And then the ceiling is smooth, and the end of the rope it's cut clean.
Is it not in a noose anymore?
It's still a
Tied
big,
into
it's a
noose?
huge fucking noose, but the end of the rope where it was at the ceiling, it's cut clean.
I'm gonna get a book cart and put it on the book cart and wheel it back to the front where we're all at.
Wait, how much of it? How long did you say it was?
About
The
60
rope
feet.
that's not in a noose. 60 feet. And how high up is the ceiling?
About 70-ish.
So
It's a fuck ton of rope.
it was cut from the inside. From inside the library. I think we need to leave.
I don't think anything cut this. I mean, what do you think we're dealing with? Jack and the Beanstalk, some giant up there. Do you know what this
For
life is made
for
of?
once, I agree with her. Help me
Well,
load this thing on this cart so we can get the hell out of here.
Look at the
I
other end
really
of the
don't
rope.
think that the giant magic rope is of our concern right now.
Make
But
a
we should get the fuck
fitness-
out of here. I agree with that
Fitness roll.
part.
We don't need
Fitness.
the rope.
Yeah.
Leave the rope. You can look at the end of the rope and see that it was cut, though. I also watched two people struggle to cut it and get nowhere.
I mean, fair.
It's not long enough right now to have sat where it sat, hanging him, and not have been cut from inside this building.
Yep.
We need to leave.
The ceilings are 70 feet. He was hanging 10 feet up in the air because we needed a ladder. That adds
He-
up, dog.
He was like 15 feet.
Yeah, see?
Oh, so it would have been done from outside of the building. Or
Oh my
from
god. Nothing
just
cut
above
it.
the
It's
roof.
just, it's ghost shit.
Dude,
Ignore that
Matt.
fucking fact.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
It's not pertinent.
His
Might be.
sister's not like hiding in the rafters cutting it. I
Yeah,
mean, she could be.
I mean,
You don't know.
very well
You
could
don't
be.
know.
Hence why we
I
should
don't
get the
think
hell
so.
out of here.
yeah.
I'm
well,
for that. I'm for
don't
getting
need
the
the
fuck
rope.
out of
Let's go.
Dodge.
We don't need the rope. Let's go. Again, let it creep.
I mean,
someone
you can
else
roll
out.
fitness to get the rope onto a cart.
There's no point in it. I just want to look at it closer in better lighting, but
We're bullying him out of it.
Well, every light in the place is on.
By refusing to help.
like I said, fuck it.
Okay, that's fine.
Get the books and go.
All right. What are you doing with Grim?
Trying to wake his ass up.
Throw water on him.
Said that like 30 minutes ago.
Roll me connect.
The what?
Connect.
27 of 55.
He wakes up in a very drug-addled state, but he's responsive to what you say, but it's like he's not there. He's like really messed up. But he's able to stand up and kind of shuffle around. He kind of needs help walking, but
All right, Grim, you're gonna crash to my place tonight, buddy. We're gonna get an Uber and get you there, or you can just get in my car. Either way.
okay, man. Yeah. Oh,
Yo, Ewan, give me a hand with him. Grab the other shoulder.
Yeah, I go around and grab the shoulder.
Just help balancing him.
I'll get the door.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind, could you grab that tote of books?
I mind.
Fair. So I get him out to my car, get him in the passenger seat, buckle him in.
so you go to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Tried that.
I take him to the door I came in.
Just show closed.
Yeah.
Can I shoot a message off real quick and be like, look, we're working together, man. This has to be you. There's no other way. And that's all I send
Roll connect.
with a picture of the front door. Please don't be garbage. 65 and 55.
It starts to roll back up.
Send another one. Thanks, man.
You have this place controlled by phone now? That's
No,
kind of
I just
impressive.
texted that number from our friendly neighborhood anonymous
The one
person.
who texted all of us?
Yeah. Well, I
And it
figured
just let you out?
since the ghost shit was starting to fall off and go away, that it wasn't caused by that. Otherwise, it would have opened then, right? So the only process of elimination, he's the only one who could have shut it. So just took a chance.
All right, let's go.
All right. So you get into whose car now?
I'm loading Grim into mine.
I'm getting into my own. If we're
Well, I have to go back and grab the books, so
oh,
I
can
don't think I took
grab
a
the
vehicle,
books
did I?
once he gets in.
No.
the
yeah, you
car.
drove there.
While he's getting Grim settled, and I'll go and grab the books.
Oh, I thought you said she drove there.
No, Eve ran.
Oh, jeez.
I'll ride with you, and I point to Damaris.
It's like, do you need a ride or yeah. All right, I go back in and grab the tote of books.
I was bringing those out to you.
Oh, okay, cool. I shoot a text off to the night manager and I'm like, hey, weird shit went down. Gotta go to the police station. Calling you in. Well, the dude under me, I guess I should say.
Speaking of Ewan,
And,
cops never showed up.
Honestly, that doesn't surprise me very much. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Because it's the same sort of thing as the other murders that were covered up. So sending cops out means telling cops, and they were trying to keep a lid on all. So I'm not as surprised knowing that I was there that they didn't show up. Oh, I'll find out why, or at least I'll get in touch with someone to find out why. Considering basically have assault with a deadly weapon and in a public place like a library, and the way that the wounds are should have had cops come automatically. So I glance at the car. I guess if everybody's piling into Demar's car, just like, does somebody want to check the hospital?
Well, that's kind of the plan. We offload this stuff, get Grim on a in a bed at my house, and then we go to the hospital and check on John.
I don't do hospitals.
Well, you can sit back with Grim if you want. I glance at Grim as he's like just groaning, I guess.
About this
I'll
time,
follow.
I need Eve to make a notice check.
$15.
You know who Grim is. You just recognized him.
Oh, fuck. Holy fuck, is that? Is he?
It's
What was the
Grim.
name of his band? No,
You know,
he's
you know.
he's in that band. That
Yeah,
Holy
that's
fuck.
him. I'm just like, yeah, and that's him. Norwegian black metal and such. That's his shtick.
He's helping you guys out with this shit.
Oh yeah, Grim's a huge fan of the occult, I should say.
I was gonna say a fan of murder.
A
It's
fan.
fine.
Of the occult, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
we
gonna-
going,
Small world.
We're going to my house and into the hospital. Unless you want to go ahead and go to the hospital, then we can meet you there.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because I'm not leaving my car here.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna start up the car and well, actually, I'll look at her first. I'm like, do you just want to go home or do you want to stick with us? What do you want to do here?
After the hospital, are you guys gonna go to that place?
Most likely. At least we'll figure out plans to go to that place.
Bzz, bzz,
Whose phone?
bzz,
I
bzz.
I
check
guess
my
I'll look
phone.
at mine. Yeah. We all pull our phones out, I guess.
Ewan.
I'm in my car on my own at this point, and I don't text and drive, so
You feel it vibrate though.
I bet I do.
You like stoplights working correctly? Because you're fucking with the wrong person, I do believe.
You look at your phones. You both get the same text.
Me also.
You
I
want
don't
to,
look at mine, so
if you want to survive, stay together.
God damn it.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine. Just me, you, and that's fine by me.
Alright, so I guess we're going straight to the hospital and following him.
So you and you're going to the hospital?
Yep.
Okay. So you pull out and you notice they are now following you.
I message him and I'm like, change of plan. We're sticking together for now.
I don't look at that either.
Yeah, I know. At least you'll have some context whenever you do stop and check it.
Yeah, I'll check it when I get to the library.
For
Library.
fuck's
You just
sake,
left the library.
please.
We just left the library.
Not the library, the hospital. Sorry.
I was like, what?
We're going in circles.
So, interesting
give him
point of
ideas.
order. There are 4 libraries. Or, damn, I did it too.
Yes.
They are under the New Athens Hospital is called the Medela Sepimentum. And there are 4 of them under the same company, spread throughout the city, north, south, east, and west. The ambulance did not give you any indication as to which one they went to.
His wounds, it would have to be the closest one. But we
Okay.
can end up checking all of them if necessary.
That's fine. So, Who's driving? And
Me.
are we going fast?
No.
Good to know. I need
Follow the speed limit.
both of you to make a drive check. If you don't have any identities that include drive, then you are going to roll your pursuit.
Didn't you have me do Cyberpunk last time? For that?
You didn't drive last time. You walked.
Yeah, I did. I drove to work.
And I did my X-Cop. Just it's drug well at high speeds, but it is substitutes for pursuit. So
No roll.
fuck.
You can roll pursuit.
Fuck. 73 at 25.
This is fun.
We're both part of the same accident.
So, traffic is fairly dense at night, as there is a vibrant lifestyle, I'll say, in New Athens during the night. So much so that there are a lot of bars, a lot of illegal activities that go on at night. And there's a lot of business to be had in New Athens. You actually are both driving together, and out of nowhere, the pole that would hold a traffic light on the side of the sidewalk behind you as you pull through falls over and crashes into several cars behind you.
Holy shit.
This causes you to turn around to see what happens because you have obviously witnessed some crazy things. And
Glance in the rear view, dog.
You want to know what happens. Well, as you look, however you choose to look, you look. And when you do, your attention is split. And you actually crash into each other and the car in front of you as the ones in front of you stop. And you are stuck in a fender bender. No one is actually hurt.
Get out of the car immediately and start inspecting my car.
No one is actually hurt. Your car is actually sandwiched.
Well, yeah, but I could still see. I mean, it's an old car. It's made out of pure steel. So depending on what the other two cars are driving, my car is probably fine. But I care a lot about it.
Let's see how fine it is. It'll need some repairs. It's drivable, but it's sandwiched.
Yeah, I mean, it's not mobile currently.
And that is actually where we will end tonight.
Grand.
Stuck in a fender bender.
Ending in traffic. That sounds about right.
Lucky us.
Most exciting content NA right now.
No shit.
Well, we will see what happens next week. Thank you to anyone who's interested in watching. And hopefully they will survive what's coming if they can stick together.
Oh.